Hey guys, so I've really been wanting to jump back on here and do a planner update video for you guys, but I really wanted to come up with a different way of filming it that was a little bit more efficient and looked a little less chaotic. So I've got a new setup and I'm a little bit nervous that it's going to come out sounding funny or looking funny, so please bear with me. But I'm really excited to come on today and share with you guys some exciting updates in my little planner universe. But first, hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Brandon. Around here, I like to talk about a variety of fabulous things, including fashion, lifestyle vlogs, unboxings, and of course planners, which is what brought you here to me today. I'm really excited to show you guys some updates from the last planner video I did, which was a setup in either late December or very early January. I will link that video down below if you're interested, but I do have some updates, so let's get into it. I'm first going to set aside my newest planner edition because we're going to get to this last, and we're going to first start with my work planner. Now, I don't have a whole lot of updates to this specific setup, but I do have a little bit of an update to the planner itself. I downsized my personal Malden into a personal compact Saffiano. This has a much smaller ring set. I believe these are 15 millimeters, 15 or 19 millimeters, as opposed to the 23 millimeter. I apologize if I got those sizes wrong, but the ring size is much smaller, which means I had to take out some of my inserts to make that work for me. Now I'm totally fine with this, and I have been using this compact for a few weeks now, and I actually really like the way that it has condensed down, and it makes it so much more manageable. So the only real update, as you guys know, I use a day on 2 pages setup from Filofax, and before I used to keep 3 or 4 months at a time in my planner, but I realized I was never really going back to look at previous months, and if I did, it was for like a very unusual circumstance that I usually kind of had a few days to figure out. So I really only need to keep 1 month at a time in my planner. So I thought that by downsizing this planner, I could then carry a new exciting planner with me when I go to work, and that I wouldn't be lugging around too much. So aside from the smaller ring size and the only 1 month of inserts, I did make one other small update. In the to-do section, I switched to using these little inbox printables I got off Etsy. I had these saved from a long time ago, and I just never really found the right use for them. And now I realize that this was what I was missing in my to-do section, was like a little inbox, like tasks, thoughts that needed to be followed up on, but not like necessarily time sensitive. So I did throw this into my to-do section, and I replaced the Filofax to-do list that comes with each planner. So that is really the only update I have for my work planner. So let's move this aside and we'll get into the exciting new planner in my setup. Now, if you guys watched any of my other planner videos, you'll know that I've been toying with the pocket-sized rings and really wanting to find a use for it. And really, the biggest struggle for me in finding a use for that such small size is just the paper, and it cramps my hand trying to write small. And I had all these fabulous inserts, but I was like, I can't use them because they're so small. And I was like, well, what if I downsize my work planner? Because I really, again, I want this to come with me to work, or when I leave the, if I leave the house and I want to plan, I really wanted something that was portable. So I thought, well, if I downsize my work planner, I'll have more space in my work bag for instead of a pocket to do another personal size rings. So that is what I'm in right this second. This is a personal size Moterm Luxe in this beautiful green color. This has 30mm rings, which I really also wanted to try like a bigger ring size. I picked this guy up off Amazon and I'm in love, and I've got so many fabulous things in this planner now that I'm excited to share with you. So we're just going to do a little bit of a flip. First thing on this side of the planner where there's lots of pockets and storage, I've got some sticky notes. Aren't these adorable? I have a little like thing here, this little card. It says planner owner, and then I've written out all of my information just in case this gets lost. I have some business cards as well as some tabs here, and in this pocket I'm keeping these little paper clips. Oops. These little paper clips that I got at a stationery store downtown, and I just really like the silver. I like they're kind of easy to find when they're in your planner. So I've got 2 different sizes of those in this back pocket here. And then in the one of these little pocket slip-in things, I've got these index clips, another find at the local stationery store of mine, and I am obsessed. I've used almost all of them, but there's these wafer thin little bookmarks, so hopefully you can see those, but I absolutely love these. I don't have anything in the large secretary pocket at the back. It's just I haven't found a use for it yet. So starting on the actual inserts, I just have a little dashboard here. I made this out of scrapbook paper. I used my silhouette to cut a scalloped edge, and then I just put sticky notes on here of like groceries that I need to pick up, like, you know, things that I need to take with me that I wouldn't necessarily take my planner with me. So it's my little dashboard. I've got on the back side just the numbered tabs that I'm using and what's in them, just so I wasn't thinking that I wanted to put words on my tabs because it's kind of a growing system and things are changing pretty rapidly. But I do want to keep things in kind of a subject matter. So that's where I'm at with my current inserts. Next is this adorable like Filofax sticky notes setup that just is in my planner, and then following that is the inbox, similar, well, the exact same inbox that's in my work planner, but this is you know, all the things that I'm working on currently for my personal planner. A lot of these are like ideas for inserts that I could find or print myself, so that's what I've got going on in here. The second tab is my yearly insert. This is from Infinity Lotus, or if you're going onto their website, 8 Lotus, just because it's the number 8. And right now I haven't really thought of like super important things to put in here, but just like keeping track of dates that are important in that month, maybe like when I got a haircut last or got my brows done. So I'm just kind of keeping track of that. And then next is a week on 2 pages diary for 2024. And I have a little page lifter, if you can see that here, to navigate to the current week. It's Monday the 13th that I'm filming this. I have not written anything down for this week, but I'll show you last week. Just a few little decorations. And I'm trying to use this because I don't have a lot of like events necessarily that I'm keeping track of on the day-to-day, but just keeping track of like maybe how I'm feeling, if there's any things that I need to go do, or what I did for the weekend. I'm trying to keep all those things down, and then just like maybe like a little note of something that made me happy. We had some really, really beautiful weather last week, so I was keeping little notes of the weather. So that's kind of my plan for this week on 2 pages. If I have an important calendar entry that I need to know or be reminded of, it's gonna go in my Apple Calendar because I share that calendar with my fiance Austin, and we both kind of need to know where I'm going because we kind of help each other keep track of that. So this is more of a reflection kind of summary, or like little things that are maybe just significant to me are going to go in this section. The next thing I have in here is this leather flyleaf page lifter, however you want to call it, and it has my newest pen obsession. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Like I said, this is a new setup for me, but this is the Sarasa Grand. It's in a 0.7. It is a beautiful pen. I have to write in 0.7 because I feel like any smaller and my handwriting looks really bad. So I really like this pen. It's by Zebra. I don't know how Zebra and Sarasa are related, but that is what that is. And I've done a lot of pen tests because I've got a various different types of paper in this planner. And I found that the Sarasa is just like the most compatible pen. There's not a lot of bleed, there's not a lot of feathering, kind of on average, right? So in this, I also have some of these transparent sticky notes, which I think are a lot of fun. So I've got those tucked in this pocket here. In my next section, and this is what I really wanted to be part of my setup, was a Dear Diary. I journal daily, or at least I try to journal daily, and I have tried so many different journal setups in the last, I've been journaling for 15 years, and I have tried so many different things, and I'm excited to put this to use because I think with everything else I've got, it will work out for me. So this is like my Dear Diary section. Some pages are just lined, simple, just thoughts. And then I'm also doing kind of like a mixed media insert with dot grid. At first I was thinking I was going to do lined on, when I just wanted to journal, and then dot grid when I wanted to multimedia. But I find that I don't like necessarily having the two different page types. It's just a level of OCD, but I don't know if you can tell, but these pages are slightly a different shade of white. And so having like a blue white versus like a warm white was kind of throwing me off. And then not necessarily having a mixed media thing to do on this side. I wasn't going to switch back to lined, obviously, because then I would have a blank page. So I'm just going to start journaling on dot grid and move from there. But I'm doing some mixed media journaling and like Dear Diary stuff. So my next, I have the ruler that comes with a Filofax typically, and that denotes my empty page for the next Dear Diary entry. And then at the back of this, I'm doing memory keeping mixed media journaling. So for right this second, the one that I'm working on is my birthday trip that I just had last month. And I'm just going through and printing some pictures and placing ephemera and some stickers down to talk about my trip. So I've got some blank days to do. And I'm just working on that kind of as I have time. The next section for me is what I'm kind of calling my reading section. I love to read, and over the last couple years, it's been kind of a start-stop obsession and then like neglect relationship with reading. And unfortunately, it's like really tied to my mental health. And for a while, I was really struggling to find that motivation to read, but I'm like really into it right now. I feel really good about reading. So I wanted a section that I carried with me that is kind of dedicated to this really important part in my life. So in my reading section, I start out with a reading log. These are just books that I want to read or that I've seen that I want to check out. So I've got a little reading log, and then obviously I don't need that too many because I'm really bad about keeping track of books that I want to read. But following my reading log is a reading journal. And so I'm just starting out. This was not the first book I finished in 2024 because, like I said, I took kind of a really long break, but this is one of the first books that I finished when I started my journal. So I print out a little picture of the book and then journal about what I thought of it. So that is kind of where I'm at with my reading journal. And then, of course, I've got some blank pages following that. Oh, and I guess I should say that this section isn't 100% reading, but it's like media, consumable media, and primarily reading. But we'll get to that in a second. Following my reading journal, I have just a little reading challenge insert. This is just dot grid with some pictures on it, and I'm just keeping track of the books that I finished in the year. I don't know if I'm going to continue doing this. I have a really hard time with my little printer getting the pictures like exactly the same, so it's been driving me nuts a little bit. I just realized a way that I could fix that, but I don't know if I'm going to. Anyway, so I've got my little reading challenge, and then I went back and I printed out little pictures of all the books that I read in 2023, and then I journaled a little bit about it because I didn't really finish that many books. And then this is a really old insert from like when I was trying to do a personal planner back in 2018. I kept track of the almost 30 books that I finished there. And I want to do this for 2019 and 2020. I think, pretty much all the missing years. So 2019, 2020, 21, 22. Yeah. There's going to be some huge gaps though. So maybe there'll be like a combined little insert. Because like, 2020, I was less focused on reading and just focusing on surviving. So next up, and this is something that just like came to me the other day, I love, you guys are going to tell me how to pronounce this correctly. I pronounce it Studio Ghibli with a soft H, but Studio Ghibli, maybe, if that's how you want to pronounce it. I love their movies. I have a really short attention span, so I really struggle committing to sitting down for 3 hours or for 2.5 hours for a movie. But these are movies that I really like. I think they're visually stunning, and I want to keep track of all the ones that I've seen. And then when I do have that commitment in me, I can find something that I want to watch really quickly. So I started a little movie tracker, and what I did was just I found some images on the internet, and I used Canva to create a little insert. On this side, I've got the 22 or 21 movies from the Wikipedia article that they say are Studio Ghibli. I know there's like some movies that predate Studio Ghibli specifically that are directed by the same director that could be included, but this is just the ones that are like officially Studio Ghibli. So I have them in chronological order, and I have some highlights here to denote whether or not I saw them. And then following that, I have a little thing that I made where there's going to be space for a picture, a review, the title, and my thoughts. I've so far only seen 4 Studio Ghibli movies, like from the official list. And since I'm doing it in chronological order, like here's the first one that I've seen. And then there's like some blank pages. I saw Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, which is so far my favorite. The Boy and the Heron. Don't even get me started. And then this isn't on the list. I guess it's technically predating Studio Ghibli, so I included it anyway because it is one of my favorites. And when people ask me or we talk about the subject, I want to remember the title. And for some reason, it just doesn't want to stick in my head. But it's called Nausicaa. I think there's a subtitle, but Nausicaa is the movie. It is visually stunning. I really like the story and the kind of undertones about the environment and how important it is to respect the environment and all of its creatures. So that is the last in my media section. Next section up is lists, habits, tracking. Right now, I don't really know what I want to track. I really want to get back into exercising. That was something that was really important to me for many years. But it's one of those things that your mental health decreases and your ability to get out of the house and do any kind of movement also decreases. So there might be some of that coming in here. But right now I'm just tracking no spend journaling and when I have the motivation to cook dinner. So I've got some habit trackers in here. And kind of as it relates to no spend, I'm trying to write down when I justify spending money. So I created this like what I bought today. It's got a store description, why I bought it, and then how much I spent. And I'm just trying to like keep myself honest. Sometimes I just get in these like late night scrollings of spending money and not remembering, and then like it comes, I'm like, ooh, Happy Meal. But I bought it, so I should probably keep track of those things. And kind of in that same vein, bag purchases. Y'all know I love my handbags. So I'm trying to keep track of which ones I've bought in any month. I'm really trying to keep it down. In the last 2 months, I've been very good to only one bag purchase if I have to, which of course you never have to, but I'm really trying to keep it down. You can see February, I went a little wild. So after that, oh, I skipped a page, but I've got just like an Amazon wish list, things that pop in my head. I'm like, oh, I want that. Miscellaneous wish list, stuff that's not sold on Amazon. And then I'm sure I've passed these already, but I'm just now remembering to mention them. These are those really thin metal tabs that I showed you at the beginning of the video. I've got my doctor visits. I haven't had a doctor visit since I set this planner up, so I don't have to worry about any of that. I've got some YouTube ideas after that. And that's kind of my list habit tracker section. And then this last section, I'm kind of calling my resource section. Okay, reference material. This is another insert I made on Canva. It is really, to be honest, I made this insert like 3 or 4 years ago to try and get my fiance to propose to me. And I like slipped it to him. I was like, hey, look at this little fun insert I made. It had like all of my ring sizes, left and right hand. I mean, obviously left. I'm pretty sure when I filled it out for him, I like made, I just had like a total lapse in recollection of what we call our fingers. But I'm pretty sure I made the left ring finger like the most notable thing on this sheet. And you know, he's a man. He didn't get it. So on this side, yeah, it took us another 4 years to get engaged, and it was because I was like, hey buddy, it's time. We've been together for 7 years. So it's just ring sizes on one side. On the other side, just noting like my birthstone, my favorite gems, my favorite metals, that kind of thing. And I'm keeping this in the reference section because I like costume jewelry as well, and once I get around to it, I'm gonna measure all my fingers so I know like I can order stuff on the internet. And then I have my pen tests, and there's like a bunch of these because I do a pen test on the different papers that I have in my planner, so I know like what's gonna end up being the most compatible. So like my Sarasa, it is the most compatible. And then last, I have this like, I ripped a piece of sticker up and it ruined the page, but I didn't feel like throwing it away, so I put an even bigger sticker over the rip mark. And I was like, I can incorporate that into my Dear Diary at some point. Last up is one of these clips that I showed you again at the beginning. And this just has some loose, well, it's not loose because it's clipped together, isn't it? Some lined paper that is blank. And then I was watching a new YouTube video that I'm obsessed with. And it's like this couple that they both have their own video or their own YouTube channels. One's name is Benji and he does like interior design and plants. Love it. And then his boyfriend's name is Chris, and Chris does books. And they were doing a video where they like swapped books that they would typically read for the other one to read. And as they were talking, I was just like writing down the books that they were talking about that sounded interesting. And then if those actually sounded interesting to me, I will move them over into my book tracker. So last up is a little page lifter. This is from the same set of these dividers, which are from Filofax. They sent me a package that literally just had the last divider in it. I'm like, hey y'all, there were supposed to be 6 dividers in here. So they sent me another one, and I just trimmed off the actual tab so it can act as like a little binder lifter. I have one of these just plain Filofax envelopes. I've got some stamps in here, and then I've got some more book stickers. This is the book I'm currently reading, and once I finish it, I will incorporate it into my planner, but until I finish it, I'm not allowed to. But this is just a little sticker. I'm reading Babel right this second. Really, really into it, but it's going to take me probably a month to finish because I'm a slow reader. Last in this back section, I have one of the Zebra Mildliner highlighters. These are fabulous for delicate paper, not a lot of bleed, and they're really nice pale colors. That I have is my favorite. I've got some clear or kind of transparent wide tabs back here. I'm not pulling this out, but that's my checkbook. Yes, I have checks. I write 2 checks a year, but I have checkbooks. I don't know. And then I've got just a little pen board. This, I think, this is a Hobonichi. It's for the weeks, I think, which is one of the many, many attempts of planner journaling that I've had. But both of these are weeks size. I don't really think I need this in here anymore, this like loose notepad. I'm thinking of actually just getting like a field notes journal to put in here that I can like grab with me when I don't want my whole planner with me. But these are good things to have for now, and they just fit in this back pocket. Alrighty guys, well, that is the entirety of my new planner setup. I am absolutely in love. I'm like carrying this with me from like room to room because I'm obsessed. I love it. I love having all the little things that I like to keep track of or like talk about or write about or craft about in one spot. And I know that for a lot of people, having this open format is kind of intimidating because you want something when you're completed with it to like go up on the shelf, or you want to save all the things that you work on. And I am absolutely the same way. I am 100% an archival fanboy, and I realize I've been archiving my work inserts for the past 5 years. And so why can't I just use the same archival system that I use for my work inserts with my personal inserts? And ever since I kind of got over that, that feeling that I couldn't save these things that I was working on and realized like I could just archive it the same way I've been doing with other things, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give this a try. Usually I would have bound systems for journaling for mixed media, but here I think this is really gonna work for me, and it's gonna work well, and I'm manifesting that to happen. So I'm really excited about that. So guys, that is my 2 planner system right now. I'm really pleased with how everything has turned out, and I'm really excited to continue putting these 2 beautiful planners to use. Well, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you guys thought of this video. I'm hoping that it looked nice and it sounded nice and that it was a chill vibe video for you guys. I love this topic, so to have so many of you reach out and ask for more videos about it, I am just so pleased. If you guys want to keep up with me, I'm over on Instagram and TikTok at BVPDX. And of course, until the next video, guys, I will see you later.